So I have been saving up a bunch of paper for months now. I think since at least August of 2025, but I think it was earlier than that even. And this is all the paper that I have saved up. So I think I'm going to take some of this paper and take it to the park because I know the first step in making paper is sort of like cutting it or tearing it into really small pieces. And the weather's really nice. So I'm going to take it to the park, rip some paper. I might read and go on a walk as well. So let's go. Te quiero, amor prohibido, murmuran por las calles del fin, ni en el corazón. It's summer. It's March summer. Yo sé perder. Ay, cómo me duele. Okay, I think I said this earlier, but the first step to my knowledge is just to cut up and rip up the paper. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I guess I did want to talk a little bit about like why am I making paper specifically instead of doom scrolling? I've made a few videos where I do random things instead of doom scrolling. And I just really like making those videos and I want to make more of them. I want it to be like a whole series. And I want to do more weird things instead of doom scrolling because when you look online for, things to do instead of doom scrolling, you get a lot of the same answers. I think the biggest one, and I've said this before too, like I'm not trying to knock anyone who said this because I've said it too, but a lot of people say reading, like read instead of doom scrolling. And I think that's a great one. But what about for those people who don't really like reading, What are they supposed to do? A lot of people say crocheting too, I think, or painting even. And those are definitely things I want to try. I've painted a couple times before. I've never crocheted. That's something I'd be interested in doing. But the point is that when you look online for things to do instead of doom scrolling, a lot of people just say the same things over and over and over. And it's like, if you don't like those things, then you're not going to get any other ideas, So I want to keep making these videos so that people can find something fun for themselves to do instead of doom scrolling, because I think it's really valuable for your quality of life, to be honest. It's been valuable for my quality of life, which is why I say that. I know not everybody's the same, but it's been wonderful for me. And so this is just one of those like weird off the wall things that I want to suggest that you do instead of doom scrolling. Like, why not make paper? Okay, I'm gonna rip some more paper for quite a while and then I think I'll probably read my book. I'm reading The Apartment by Ana Menendez. I'm only on page 49, so I'm not far into it at all, but it's set in Miami, and the whole premise of the story is there are multiple perspectives, and each of the perspectives are people who have lived in the same apartment 2B. But yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. So I'm gonna rip some paper and then probably read my book, and then I'll probably go on a walk because I am in the park and it's a beautiful day. Okay, next step, I have all of my torn paper. Also, I should mention I'm making recycled paper. I'm not making paper from scratch. So now I'm going to make pulp from my paper. And the next thing I'm going to do is put a bunch of my paper in here and then let it soak. It's not quite as warm as it was yesterday, so I've got a hoodie on. And also, I should have said this earlier in the video, but this is not a tutorial on how to make paper. This is very incorrect. I, for some reason, was under the impression that I was supposed to squeeze all the water out of the pulp, and that's what I did, and that's not what you're supposed to do. So I don't know if that's going to mess up the rest of my paper making process or not, but I'm still going to try. I'm still going to try to make recycled paper out of this. I mean, I think if I just put it back in the water. So, oh, there's already a bug in my water. So I've known that I've wanted to make paper for a while, so I asked for a mold and decal for Christmas, and I got this set, so it has different sizes. I'm also gonna need some sort of fabric. Okay, I don't think towels are the best thing to use, but that's probably what I'm going to use just because that's what I have readily available. So I think I'll just plop one of these in here. Oh my god, this is not good. Okay, no, it's fine, it's fine. And I'm just gonna stir it with my hand. I think I'm actually gonna go back to the kitchen and fill this back up. Okay, so far this is still not what we want, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. There's literally a sheet of paper. Ah! Once it dries, of course. That's paper. Good morning. It's actually been like 4 days. I was out of town, so I don't know actually how long it takes for the paper to dry because I was gone for 4 days and it definitely dried in those 4 days while I was gone. But either way, let's go ahead and peel it off the towel. I'm really excited for this part. I feel like it's going to be super satisfying. I did do these 4 already. Okay, let's peel the rest. I do know that it's better to pull away the towel or the cloth from the paper instead of trying to peel back the paper from the towel. Otherwise, the paper will come out curled. I can't really do that since all of the paper pieces are on the same towel or cloth. So I'm trying to just peel the paper as like parallel to the floor as I can. And it's working really well so far. None of them are coming out curled. But if you do try to do this at home and some of them do come out curled, you can just put them under a heavy book for a day and then they'll be straight again. So it's no worries either way. Here are some plain pieces of paper with nothing added to them. Here are some pieces that do have flowers pressed into them. And then here are our last few random pages. Okay, so that is my paper, and you may be wondering what exactly I plan to do with this paper. Truthfully, when I first set out to make paper, I was really hoping that I would be able to somehow make my own journal that I could use for journaling. The molds that I was using were different sizes, but the two bigger sizes did not work at all. Only the small paper size worked, and the paper from that is actually pretty small. And to my understanding, when you make a journal, it's more like you make 2 pages of a journal and then you fold it down the middle to make a booklet. So if I tried to fold mine to make a booklet, it would literally be smaller than this notebook size. So that would be a really, really tiny notebook. And I definitely think I could have a use for that, but that's not the original use that I intended. So I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with this paper. I definitely think some of the pressed flower pieces look so cool, and I think they could just be somewhat of a work of art on their own in a cute little frame. I think that'd be really cool. But especially as far as the blank pages, like with no flowers or anything, I don't really know what I want to do with them. So honestly, stay tuned because I might talk about it later in a future video, and then hopefully I'll be able to show you whatever I decide to do with this paper. But anyway, thank you so much for choosing to watch this video today. I hope it was helpful in some way. And if you're looking for something to do instead of doom scrolling, I highly recommend trying to make recycled paper. But yeah, I hope this inspires you to go live your life and do something weird. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!